fucking cartoons in the background. And welcome to the Redeye stream number 244. Right now I'm joined by good old Jensen. If nobody ends up showing up, we're probably just going to talk about Star Trek. So yeah, somebody might want to show up. Either that, or we'll start talking about the X-Files in real life and Loch Ness Monster and shit. So I mean, be warned. But we're going to open up talking about the Chinese space agency. They actually landed on the far side of the moon. And no, they did not find any Decepticons, sadly.
Trust you to think that. I mean, you're the one that's sitting there every time I put the All Hail Our Robot Overlords. You're one of them that's sitting there going, no robot overlords. And now you're saying it's disappointing they didn't find the Decepticons? Really?
Okay, so this is a photo from the far side of the moon. Now, that's not what's got me tripping. Look in the top left-hand corner, Jensen. Tell me that's not the fucking Federation symbol.
Well, yeah. Did you not hear? There's actually a whole bunch of Mandela effect sort of crossovers involving the Federation arrow.
Well, I mean, even underneath it is the Federation freaking thing on their flag. I mean, maybe I'm too much of a Star Trek nerd here, but dude, total ripoff, Chinese. Total ripoff.
Well, let's be fair. The entire Federation was set up to be socialism on crack. Maybe they're just trying to, recover a little bit of their social identity after America stole it. Yes, I'm joking. Just before people start thinking that I'll suddenly turn to an SJW.
I mean, seriously, I can't get over that. It looks like the Federation symbol, but I'm going to try and move past that. I don't know. It doesn't seem like there's as many craters on the far side of the moon. Not from these images, anyway. What do you think?
Well, in all fairness, I agree with you, mate. It's, you could look at it this way. The dark side of the moon is going to be the one that gets impacted more than the light side because, that's just angles and whatnot that it's at. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm no astrophysicist or nothing, so don't quote me on this shit, but logic dictates if you've got a big flat bit towards the outside, that'll be the bit hit more often. But for whatever reason, you're right, it's not. Which is just a bit weird.
Well, no, and this is weird as well. NASA just released the first close-up photos of the furthest object humanity has ever explored. And it looks like a giant red snowman? What?
What?
A asteroid that looks like a giant red snowman. Interesting. And Saturn's losing its rings. I mean, it's just full of all sorts of horrible news. No Decepticons. No more rings around Saturn. What's going on?
Well, I don't know if you know this, and if you don't, this might give you a bit of a chuckle. But apparently, back in Galileo's time, they actually thought that the rings around Saturn were Jesus's foreskin.
Wait, no, I thought it was like Krispy Kreme, like, I don't know, a donut hole, a donut wing, crushed candy.
Seriously, back in Galileo, or at least around that area, please allow me to be out by a bit, but they actually believed that the rings around Saturn was Jesus Christ's bris.
Oh, well,
okay. Well,
he was Jewish.
He was Jewish. That is true, but people think all sorts of crazy things. But I don't know. Memes. Are you surprised there are no Decepticons on the dark side of the moon?
What? I haven't seen yet.
China landed on the dark side of the moon. They're showing some photos. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of craters on that end of the moon, and also no alien base and no Decepticons. Little lackluster here.
Well, that's what they'd want. That's what they want us to think.
Oh, here we go with that's what they want.
I mean, as long as the thing isn't returning to Earth, we should be okay.
No, it wasn't a manned mission. It was kind of like the rover we sent to Mars way back in like what, 03. They sent something like that up to the moon.
Oh, did it crash that bad?
No, they actually know how to, use metric instead of standard.
No, we did the calculations in feet, but we programmed it in meters.
Oops. Genius.
Jacob says in the chat, Mad Dodge, China is joining the Sith. Only Sith would go over to the dark side. Yeah, true, Jacob, but only a Sith deals in absolutes.
Wait, hold on. Did they put a flag in?
I mean, I'm sure there's probably a flag on their little lander thingy.
Well, Mad Dodge, you know if this is the start of? This is the start of a new space race, man. We play our cards right. We could be in Asgardia in just a couple of years.
Really?
I was thinking it was a very expensive game of capture the flag.
Cool.
We'll do that too.
That'd be great. We could just keep sending missions to the moon to put a new flag up, and then China shows up, takes the flag down, puts theirs up. It'll be great. We can get Russia involved. It'll be fun.
You'll understand this. Warsong Gulch for men.
Oh God. Oh God. Hold on, let me retool my 5-minute mage. I'll be right there.
Oh
no, it's down to 3. It was down to 3 minutes. Or did they up the time? I keep on forgetting. There's so many different metas there.
Yeah, things all went weird. Anyway,
but yeah, no, I don't know. That wasn't kind of nerdy story, but an interesting story I found. I don't know what's been going on in your neck of the woods, memes. What is it you like today? Do you like dinosaurs?
Oh, I like Kung Pao chicken. That's what I'm eating right now. I had to go pick it up, so that's why I was slightly tardy. My apologies.
Did you bring food for the rest of the class?
If you can somehow eat this within 3 feet of my computer, you're more than welcome.
That's an offer.
Yeah. Suddenly a drone fucking busts through memes' window, swoops
MC,
in and
keep
grabs
out of
the
this.
chicken.
This is only between me and MD.
Okay. So day 3 of the new year, Jensen, you guys out of the EU yet? I'm gonna ask you guys every day.
It's low.
No, unfortunately, apparently the new rule is we're not allowed to leave. We're very naughty children. We got to sit over there on the naughty step and just do what we're bloody told. Or at least that's how it sounds like they're treating us nowadays, in my opinion.
What the hell did you guys do? You just guys said you wanted to take your ball and go home.
Exactly. How dare we? We don't have a right to that ball. It should be everybody's ball, especially the everybody that isn't us.
Well, you should share your ball.
No, see, the EU wants to play silent ball. So if you have the ball, then you're supposed to shut the fuck up.
I say we give them the ball and they can go and shut the fuck up all on their own and stay the hell away from us. But that's just my opinion.
And Tema's in the chat. What's up, Tema? She says Apple's dying and no one wants to admit it. Yeah, I did see a little story on Apple. They lost 10% of their value in their stocks today, right?
I mean, that happens. There are always market corrections. I mean, the market was at what, like 22, 23,000. I mean, compared to, it wasn't that long ago that it was like around 8,000. That was only like about a decade or so ago. Actually, no, it was a decade ago. So I remember the Dow went under 9,000 and then went back up.
Are we really doing the 9,000 jokes? Really?
Really.
Well, what's the problem? Is it the fact that nobody wants to buy the new fucking iPhone every single year? And maybe you should make a phone that, I don't know, will work for a few years?
Well, I've had my iPhone 6 since whenever the hell the 6 came out, a little while after that. But well, the thing is, it's a lot of it's just market uncertainty. When folks aren't certain what's going to happen, and when you have a president like President Trump, who's often tweeting out things, often late at night or early in the morning, that gets investors unsettled, and they go, oh my God, and we almost always sell off before the holiday. That, I mean, you just look traditionally. I remember the market plunged 300 points. The market plunged 1,000 points. If you look at the actual percentages, it's probably not that different than other things when scaled to the extent. Because if you're dropping 300 points at 10,000, all right, that's 600. Okay, so it was a pretty big drop. But then again, I mean, the market has been raging for a while. Oh, and yeah, the whole hiking interest rates. I mean, just that increases the price of bonds, which often act inversely, basically the opposite of stocks. Fed increases the rate. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but why would the Fed increasing the interest rate a little bit drop Apple and a lot of the tech industry itself by such a big margin?
I mean, that's a great question. What else is going on? Because, I mean, Apple is also like the most valued company in the world at this point. So, I mean, if you're on top and your numbers maybe won't hit X, here's the thing, dude, 0.25% increase. I mean, that might not sound like much, but seeing as at one point Apple had more cash on hand than the United States government, 0.25% increase on that, well, actually, technically that might help them. All right. I don't know what's going on in the tech industry. I'm just going to go with uncertainty.
So nothing unusual then is what you're trying to say. Isn't it always uncertain?
It's more uncertain.
Oh, great.
Well, I don't know if Tema's talking about Facebook or Apple here because she followed. Okay, Tema says they lost a Facebook this year, hundreds of billions lost. Oh, I get it. Okay, they lost the equivalent of Facebook's market value. 452 billion in market capital is lost. Damn, that's not just a drop in the bucket, memes.
Hold on, Jensen, go.
No, you're right. That's not just a drop in the bucket, but it's kind of scary, the sort of numbers they toss around like they mean absolutely nothing to anybody. I mean,
Yep.
There has to be a point where too much money does exist. And if these guys are losing this amount of money, then correct me if I'm wrong, but do they just not deserve to have access to it?
I mean, that's a very highly anti-capitalistic remark there. I'm not necessarily saying there's not substance to it, because there definitely is a certain level of substance. But one of the things that goes on, and the sheer fact that they lost the value of whatever Facebook was it $400 billion? I mean, if you look at how they calculate that, if you're looking on the balance sheet, oh, they lost it. Why? What did they buy? What did they invest in? Because if you invest in real estate, if you invest in capital machinery and stuff, you can depreciate that stuff. And depending on the scale you can use that as a tax shield. So it's like General Electric. It's like, oh, well, it's one of the best years on record. They had like literally billions and billions of dollars of revenue. Oh, but they didn't earn any money, didn't pay any income tax. Why? Because of the way we have everything structured. Like, let's say Apple, they invested $1 trillion or whatever in different things. That plus all the other assets they had, dude, they could literally write off like Donald Trump did. Donald Trump wrote off nearly $1 billion. Hillary Clinton's attacking him over that. And he's like, that makes me smart. It's like these companies are doing that same thing on just a much grander scale. Is it legal? If you can get away with it, apparently it is.
Okay. That's right, I suppose.
I don't know. That's a lot of money to lose, though. For one company, 452 billion, about 40% of their profit margin, gone.
It's on the books. There's like Amazon lost money for over a decade before it posted a profit, but folks were still making a lot of money. It's just the accounting. They put it as they lost, quote unquote. Thereby, if they lose that money, they can use that loss to potential other. Basically, if you have money coming in and you have money going out, depending on what you spend the money going out on, you can create basically a tax shield to protect yourself from hitting high tax barriers. That's why, as long as there's, and this is one of those crazy things I noticed when I was in an upper level finance class, you're calculating things. It's like when I learned about short selling, which normally you invest in a stock, the stock goes up $1, you sell off after fees and stuff. If you just took those out of the equation, technically you net $1. But short selling means you have a stock, it loses $1, you then make $1. My professor used to say, he who sells what isn't hism ends up netting out in like, it was weird. He was probably a bit more of a liberal professor too. He's like, what's the difference between investing and putting like money on black? It's like, just kind of shrugged. I mean, there is a science to it to an extent. There is calculus. But all I know, dude, is math is hard. But if you can short sell and actually invest in something at the same time, which one may be able to get creative, basically, as long as there's fluctuations of the market, you can make money. Because even if you gain money and you lose money, if there's a 15% capital earnings, I think it might be up to 20% now. Basically, as long as there's a discrepancy in the numbers there, if you have enough money, like Jensen was saying, you can at least get yourself a tax shield, and that equates out into money because it's a tax credit. Hey, MC.
Okay. Yeah, but the thing is, though, don't you think they're losing so much money because nobody wants the products anymore? They're releasing a new iPhone every single year, and they're hardly changing anything other than raising the cost of said iPhone. Like, isn't it now like over $1,000 for a fucking phone? I'd rather buy Samsung any day. I'd rather buy Samsung any day, dude.
In all fairness, the problem with mobile phones is still the whole, we can track you, we can hear you, we can see you, we know exactly what you're doing. What do you mean back in the 70s and 80s we asked you to carry around a tracking device? You'd say no. Now, we'll even sell it to you, so you'll give us money to carry around this tracking device for us.
It's very interesting because they used to pretty much give you the phones for free, or at least at a highly discounted price. It actually makes me think, I'm like, okay, yeah, they worked it into the wireless contracts, but I'm like, you were literally giving away all this technology for free. It just, things that make you go,
And Atema made a point in live chat. I've also posted it into our side chat. It's the thing she's been talking about, the loss of money, blah, blah, blah. I put the link in there. You guys have a look. If you want to talk about it, you go right ahead.
I don't know. What do you think, MC? Is Apple dying? Are they going to start slipping and maybe not be the number one in the market anymore? I mean, because they are Apple, not necessarily like the PC market, but when it comes to cell phones and iPads, tablets and all that shit, they're pretty much number one in the world, right?
Yeah, but their innovation is going to stop. Once they lost Steve Jobs, their innovation stopped. So they're no longer going to be the innovation leader. I mean, that's the biggest problem that they're going to have, and it's going to continue. And the reason is because without Steve Jobs there to drive R&D, the R&D people will just start slacking off.
It's true. Folks need motivation. Actually, I'm looking here. Apple has lost $452 billion in market capitalization. That's just basically the value of the company. I mean, what were they valued at for like all this stock? Probably at least $1 trillion something. I mean, this is just folks, just kind of like MC said, if you're not necessarily developing the new innovations because you have the iconic figure of Steve Jobs, who, I mean, you can go after Steve Jobs for whatever the hell you want. You can't say that he's not just a creative genius because, I mean, the guy helped bring us the iPhone, the iPad, all these different innovations. And like MC said, I mean, if folks don't necessarily feel that connection, that just drive for something, it's like, okay, no, they'll develop things and everything, but I don't know, dude. MD, the best way I could put it to you, it's kind of like if you were fighting back in the Civil War and you're on the Confederate side and you just walked past Lee before you went off to go die in battle and he was just smoking a cigar in his tent, you might not necessarily be all that excited, but if you see General Lee frickin' barreling forward on his horse to the front of battle, you're going like, holy shit, that dude's nuts. I'm going that way.
No, the biggest issue with Steve Jobs is he created a hell of an R&D department. But what he also did is he drove it. He drove them. He sit up there and determined what they were going to research. He demanded things that no one ever thought were possible. And the one thing that he did more than any other freaking CEO is that he drove the fact that, hey, this stuff has to be user friendly, ultimate user friendly, and he drove his R&D department with that in mind. That's how they came up with the iPad. That's how they came up with the iPod. All right, to begin with, all right, and he kept driving, and he kept on them again and again and again, and he ran over their objections. Oh, that's going to be too hard. He's like, I'm not asking you to do something. I'm telling you to do it. You will do it. You will do it my way. And when that person leaves, all right, when that kind of a personality leaves and other people come in and go, yeah, he was kind of an ass, I won't be as much of an ass, and everything else, all that drive goes away. And what was driving that company, what was driving innovation, isn't there anymore. Now it's just like any other technology corporation, and they're going to, and as a result, they're slipping.
So they lost their magic.
Yeah, the culture of the company has shifted, is what you're saying.
Yeah. And it's like any other company now. It doesn't act the way it used to with Steve Jobs. It doesn't. Steve Jobs for all the accolades and everything else that people gave him, right? The biggest thing about him was he was a dick, man. He was an ass. All right. And as a result, he led by demanding things, and if you didn't come up with it, like for example, with the iCloud, he walked into a meeting with the iCloud folks and said, you promised all this stuff, it's not here, goodbye. And he fired the entire project group.
Nice.
Well, that's serious business. And actually, to be fair, I was kind of downplaying it a little bit more. I went past the picture to a couple more things. And when I read that $452 billion number, I'm like, oh, well, at one point, I remember they were at about $1 trillion market cap. No, dude, they're like down like 39+% right now from just October 1st. Like the $674 billion loss was larger than the individual 496 members of the S&P 500, and that includes Facebook and J.P. Morgan. Holy shit!
Well, like I said, where's their innovation? Show me where their innovation has been since Jobs left.
Well, didn't Jobs die? I mean, let's be fair.
You understand what I mean? I understand he died, but you understand what I'm saying. Since they lost Jobs, Steve Jobs, since he's gone, what have they innovated? What is brand new? Everything is just kind of like a slight upgrade. Oh, it's a little bit bigger.
It has a little better camera.
That's it. What was that means?
Well, I said they usually have a better camera.
Yeah,
but
that's what I was saying. Oh, sorry, MC, but that's kind of the point I was making. Why are people spending over $1,000 for the new iPhone every single year? They don't need to anymore. I mean,
no, there's nothing. There's no new product line, and as far as easy use and everything else, well, where are they going with it? I mean, let's be honest. Where are they going with it? Nobody knows what's going to be their next big thing. What's going to drive the market? What's going to be the wow thing, that wow factor?
God, please don't let them get into MMORPGs.
What they're going to do, and I can tell you one of the things they're trying to avoid, but it's something that I think Steve Jobs made a mistake with, right? Because he should have done it much sooner than this, is he should have figured out a way to do the stylus correctly. And he fought and refused to put a stylus on the iPad and the iPod and the iPhone rather, not the iPod. And people have been demanding that. People want to be able to write on these tablets, right? To draw, there's everything else. The technology's there, all right? There's no reason for it, but Steve Jobs was saying, no, I don't want to have that innovation. That would be an innovation if you could do it that way. Plus the fact, add certain, drawing tools and drawing features so it would be part of the artistic community. Granted, it's kind of a niche thing, but people would like to be able to do that, where you can do your own little doodles on their freaking iPad. Now that would be at least somewhat innovative, but you don't even see that coming out. You don't even, you don't hear anything about that.
That would have been really cool, MC, because I remember that was actually one of my gripes too, and one of the reasons I think I swapped over to like the Galaxy series for a little while, just because I'm like, oh, if I can actually get a stylus for this. I think there is some implementation of that on like one of the iPad Pros, I believe, that you can do that, but it's like you said, the ability to get it to like the Apple way, to have it like sync together seemingly seamlessly to us imperfect creatures.
Right. Well, but he didn't want it, and so that's one innovation that he refused to do. But you don't even see anything like that coming on the horizon with Apple. What are they saying? The one thing that let's talk about Gizmodo for a second. Gizmodo used to sit up there and steal the new Apple products, right, so they could review them and talk about how great they were going to be, right? They would get the like a test version or a beta version that somebody in Apple was running, and they'd get a picture of it and they try and put it out there.
Somebody left it in a bar. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Well, no, but it was. Let's be perfectly frank. That it was more of a setup kind of a thing. And people like Steve Jobs, that wasn't happening on accident. They were doing it intentionally to release. Get the buzz talking about it, to get people, interested in it. Have you seen anything like that since Steve Jobs left? Since he's gone.
Huh. I haven't noticed anything since pretty much Donald Trump has become president either. Oh my God. That no. There was a guy that called to the radio station. Was it like Mike Femer or something like that that called to those New York radio stations? Was Donald Trump the one actually like stealing those commandeering and giving to other folks? Because remember, when he did used to drive around New York City, he packed heat too, so he was serious.
I don't think that Trump had anything to do with it, but now that you mentioned his name, I'm sure that I'll be some new conspiracy theory. Thanks, memes.
You're welcome.
Well, okay, so yeah, Apple got ahead by innovating pretty much, but I mean, that's not really explaining why Samsung's catching up, because I don't see any real innovation over there either, but they're eating up more of the market.
Well, no, they're copying. They're copying what Apple was doing. All right. They were always behind because they were copying what Apple was doing. Well, the thing is now, without anybody innovating, all right, then you're already caught up. How tough is it not to get, how tough is it to catch up?
John Miller.
The vast majority of the ease of use was the biggest driving force behind Steve Jobs. His biggest secret was he focused and forced his R&D department to focus on ease of use for the public. It wasn't just this product played music, like when the iPod came out. There were other products that played, music. It had more storage and everything else. The difference was
MC. I used a Sony Mini disc player. Don't even bring me back to those days.
And how much easier was an iPod?
I don't know. I never had an iPod. All I know is it doesn't skip. It still skipped.
But the thing is very simply is the iPod, you could, with the touch of a finger in your hand, with your hand holding it, with your thumb, you could scroll to whatever you wanted very rapidly, get to the song you wanted, and play. No other device allowed for that. Not that Sony, and not the Zune that came out later. That Gates tried to
the Zune, the 123 that were sold. But no, MC, you hit upon, I think, the core there. It was the ease of use integration to the end user. And that's something that, I mean, it seemed lost on many people in the industry for a long time. And I'll tell you a straight up story. Like back in the day when I went to college many millions of years ago, we used to have the phone call-in system, and you could schedule whatever class. At one point, it literally, my senior year let me schedule modern physics, and at one point, and I'm like, I'm a business student. I never took physics 1 through 3, all this other shit there, but it's like I took it as an elective. But it got to the point where they ended up doing an upgrade and they actually put in software. And when they put in the software system, don't get me wrong, you could do things and it would kind of check things, but it was a pain in the ass to use all these drop-down boxes with all these coded things and this weird thing, rather than just like business, engineering, nursing, and just like different fields like that. It was built from an engineer, basically a creator perspective. And from a creator perspective, I'm sure it made plenty of sense. It was so many folks hated it, and the kick in the ass is its actual name was ISIS, which was many years ago, but eventually in more modern history, I heard they renamed it.
I'm sure they probably did. But you understand my point. The hardest thing to get R&D to understand when you're dealing with any kind of new technology, is getting them to understand the end user wants ease of use. Because everyone talks about functionality. Can I get it to do X, Y, Z? So your R&D people are like, yeah, I can get it to do X, Y, Z. But then the way they make it do it is like exactly like you said. Well, you got to open up this window. You got to go to this drop-down box. You got to select this. After that pops up, you got to select these 6 items, rather than what Steve Jobs said. No, you just select the item. All right, it should be right there for you to touch. You have an icon. You just touch the icon and it opens up. Right. All of this was because Steve Jobs forced the R&D department not just to have functionality, but to have usability. And his focus was usability. And if they didn't give it to him, he was merciless. If they didn't get it, if it started to come late or anything else, he drove the R&D people saying, you will have it by date X. And if they were getting close to date X and they didn't have it, they would come back like all of them do and go, this might be a little bit late. And he was like, no, it's not going to be late. You're just going to have to work late to get it done. He would force them to be doing 18-hour days if that's what it required, right? The pressure that he constantly applied to them, combined with the fact that what he wanted was ease of use, and that was his focus, is how he was so successful. That's where a lot of of the quote unquote innovation actually came out of. All right, that's what was truly innovative about it. There's nothing like that coming on the horizon now. What other new product is out there now? Steve Jobs had plans. He wanted to be able to run your house. Every freaking piece of equipment in your house was going to be connected to that iPhone. All right. And it was like, you're going to open the door. You're going to start your coffee pot. You're going to start your car. You're going to get in your car. Right. It wouldn't surprise me if he was trying to get it so you could drive your car out of the garage and have it waiting for you. Right. When you walk out the door.
Well, Apple was working on that. They were doing the whole smart driverless car thing,
See?
like almost parallel to Tesla. They bought a second company, and I know Tesla's already pretty much do that.
And so this is what he was trying to go for. All of that's gotten canceled. I guarantee you, it's all going to go to the wayside because they're not. The R&D people are doing functionality. They're focusing on functionality rather than usability.
Oh, my poor former roommate. He moved down to Florida to work for Apple and stuff because they just opened a new store down there. I wonder how. Oh, geez. Well, as part of his retirement going to Apple too. They pay a good dividend.
That would be interesting, though. I don't drink coffee, but the fucking start your coffee pot and like fucking hook your toaster up to your phone and shit. Weird.
I mean, the technology's already here. Go ahead, Jets.
What's weird about it, Mad? It's actually a perfectly reasonable thing. If you can do all of this at the click of effectively just one button, why is that weird? I would have thought that actually would have made sense to you.
Oh, I'll up you one, Quinn. I'll up you one, Quinn. You don't even need to put a button. You can set it and forget it.
Well, no, like, what's Apple going to do next? Make a fucking Apple bot, you know? You get a personal robot servant to follow you around everywhere?
They sell those.
Well, they probably would have tried to get into that game. All right, trying to get some of the DARPA technology and move toward that as well. The problem, of course, now is without Steve Jobs there, all that's gone. You can, and I noticed it immediately. Right, within 6 months of Steve Jobs being gone, I'm like, they're not innovating anymore, and you could tell it, you could see it, And that's what's happened. And so people are like, well, then why is this any different? Why should I get this? Now, what the focus is going to be on, I can tell you right now, the focus is going to be going the other way, where everyone's going to try and do it through software, get everything done through software. And unfortunately, software programmers have are R&D people. All right. They're the same kind of mentality. You want functionality, I give you functionality. But if there isn't somebody cracking a whip over the code makers, all right, to make it usable, the interface you get is clunky. All right. It takes too long to get to places, and it irritates the holy hell out of people.
MC, no. MC just solved the problem. MC solved the problem. Apple should contract Elon Musk.
Why?
Elon Musk should buy Apple.
I don't want him to buy Apple.
Why?
Does he need anything else? He's already got a fucking space agency.
But if we want, if we want to make Apple great again, who else?
Why would I want to make Apple great
like
again?
Figure?
Why would I want to make Apple great again?
I'm talking to you on a Mac.
Okay, and
I like Apple.
I'm talking to you on a PC. Next.
I like Apple.
Okay. Why?
Orange Man bad.
And there we go.
Yep, you're headed to the fallback position. Orange Man bad.
Well, that's the thing. It's so sad. And what is it? Timmy Cook there. I mean, he tries, but I mean, he's not Steve Jobs. He still does a pretty darn good presentation, but I mean, he's an executive dude. And I mean, it's kind of like watching Trevor Noah on The Daily Show, which I really haven't done in a while. But he's trying, or at least he was trying to be Jon Stewart. He was trying to be Jon Stewart. Like, I'm listening to the jokes, and I'm like, I'm imagining Jon Stewart saying that joke as Jon Stewart used to say those jokes. I'm like, all right, that's funny. But I'm like, he's trying to force it. And like when Trevor Noah actually does his stand-up, he's actually pretty funny. So it's I don't know, man. I don't know. I haven't watched in a while. I think he's trying to get into his own a little bit, but hey, power to the guy.
Okay. You like Trevor Noah. Great.
I know.
Okay.
I didn't even have a response. Not a big fan myself. But the chat, I'm looking over there, and Aunt Jack says, Apple Sexbot 2020 will spend all day trying to get you to buy things and Apple products. She won't stop nagging you and then reports you for wrong think if you don't do what she wants you to.
Well, the next thing that they wanted to have happen, I'm sure that Steve Jobs had in his mind would be that it would recognize your voice. So if you said, Alexa, start my car and get the coffee ready, it would do that.
No, it's Siri. God, MC.
I'm sorry, Siri, whatever.
Hey, you misfeminized the bots.
I'm sure somehow they're going to get upset and tell me that I misgendered them and I'm going to jail because I misgendered them.
MC, what happened the last time we let loose the AI on the internet?
No, with whose AI?
Microsoft's.
Well, Microsoft stood up there and had a swearing AI, and
it turned into a Nazi.
So?
Oh, wait. Does that mean Apple's AI will turn into, like, a communist?
What's the difference?
It'll turn into you.
What?
What's the difference?
MC, millions of people died under communism as a result of the plan. Millions of people died under National Socialism as part of the plan.
What makes you think that under communism it's not under the plan or part of the plan?
No, I mean it did go well.
Especially with the idea
very
that
authoritarian.
we reduce the population of the earth down to a certain amount.
MC, let's not go into that. Let's talk about fancy gadgets and happy things.
How many people were dying because of fascism prior to the rise of Nazis?
I don't have statistics.
Well, let me ask a different question then. When Hitler fell and Mussolini were kicked out, was there still a fascist regime?
Maybe.
right? The answer is yes. It's called Franco's Spain.
Oh, is that like Catalonia?
Right, under the Spanish, under Franco. Franco was a fascist dictator. You compare Spain, all right, and his dictatorship, which went for how many decades? I think he died in 1970, so like 3.5 more decades, and compare that regime to Cuba's, for example.
Is that why Spain still has tapas?
I have no idea what tapas is.
Oh no, those are the free hors d'oeuvres they give you when you get a beer.
Whatever. I've never been to Spain.
Oh,
but if you compare the regimes and Franco, was a severe individual, but people weren't dying left and right like they did under frickin' Cuba, like they did under Castro, and every other communist regime. So when you start talking about fascism is just another form of a dictatorship. It is a nationalistic movement to a point, but it still comes down to supreme ownership to a leader. Communism, on the other hand, is an oligarchy, and the oligarchs not only fight for power, which people die in the fight for power, but they are also sitting up there trying to be a dictatorship and tell people what to do and what to think. And when the oligarchs fight for power and they get ousted, whoever side you were on that lost, all those people get wiped out again and again. So communism will always be worse, and in a general term, than fascism in my mind.
You're entitled to your opinion.
I'm entitled to the facts. And if you could present facts that disagree with me, please enlighten us all.
MC, it's current year 2019. We're at least a couple years in the post-truth era.
Oh, so truth doesn't matter?
Oh, truth absolutely matters.
Really?
Well, I don't know. What side are we arguing on? I'm confused. You just inverted what I said. Go on, Jensen.
You don't even know which side you're arguing on. That's just you. Perfect, sir. Perfect.
Well, I would say a lot of it comes down to the actual mimetic of what folks take away. I mean, actually having truth and actual facts on your side, those absolutely bolster your case because it gives you an actual strong foundation because you actually have
when people don't
information.
believe you.
Well, that's why it comes.
The facts.
Well, that's why you need facts as a good foundation, and you need a proper mimetic to communicate those facts.
Well, you can communicate it, but if people are living in denial because they're SJWs, what difference does it make?
Well, MC, all I'm saying is if you're trying to prove a point that there were weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, yelling at people, telling them that they're bad, doesn't always get them to take your ideas on.
Even when you frickin' present them with evidence again and again, it doesn't fix it.
Well, they're going to think you're a dick, so they're going to be like, la, 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 angry man, bad.
And so we're back to the smirk.
Yeah, god damn it, memes. You had to bring up Iraq. Oh, no, okay. Let's play a little game called Has Mad Dodge fucking heard of any of these movies? From Rotten Tomatoes, the top 10 movies of 2018. And so far, not looking good. Number 10 is 8th Grade. Anybody hear of that fucking movie? I never heard of it.
Nope.
Okay, all right. So we'll move on to some more that I've probably never heard of. Night Comes On. I never heard of that.
Night Comes On?
Yeah.
Are you sure you're not reading like the top 10 freaking porno hubs things?
No, this is Rotten Tomatoes. Okay, so number 8 is Oh Lucy. I'm guessing that's about.
Wait, hold on. I just finished typing in the chat, but did MC just say porno hub?
Yes.
Yeah, I did.
Oh God, you are a boomer.
Yeah, I haven't heard of any of these. Fucking Paddington 2. Never even heard of Paddington 1.
Oh, it's the bear.
Yes, you have. Don't try that shit. Every fucking knows you Paddington.
No, I haven't.
No. See,
is that the teddy bear?
Yeah.
Yes, Paddington Bear. No, see, EI and Tema, what's actually happening right now is MD is absolutely grasping for straws, so we're We're just playing random things and throwing words out there on the internet.
Well, no, I was like, I wonder what the top 10 movies of 2018 were. So I went to Rotten Tomatoes and typed it in, and I haven't heard of any of them. I don't watch movies anymore. It's official.
Well, keep going with the film. Come on.
No, Leave No Trace is number 2. I don't know. Dude and his teenage daughter fucking
What?
live off the grid for years. It's fucking dumb.
Oh, I thought it was the name of the movie.
No, Leave No Trace.
I'm like, dude and his teenage daughter. I'm like,
No.
yeah, you should click on Pornhub.
No, it's fucking Rotten Tomatoes, you asshole. Okay, side chat. Fucking assholes. Right there. It was actually like the top 100 or whatever. I had to scroll all the way to the bottom to find the top 10.
How about we ask folks in the chat what their favorite movie has been in the past 5 years or a couple of years? Recent memory.
Gone with the
Recent
Wind.
memory?
Gone with the Wind?
Gone with the Wind. Wait a minute.
All right, so MC is an actual wizard, seeing as he's been around for at least 823 years.
Confirmed. MC is Merlin. Now we know.
Yeah, is your favorite movie ever fucking Casablanca? You remember seeing it in theater?
I've got it on DVD and VHS still.
You would have a VCR still, don't you?
He's got the fancy VCR. He's got the one little CRT TV with it built in.
No, I don't.
It's worth a shot. Oh, sure.
Won't you be my neighbor? Shoplifters. Shirkers. I haven't even heard of Shirkers. Hannah Gadsby Nanette. No idea what that is. Pick of the Litter. Minding the Gap. It sounds like a war movie, but of course it's some stupid frickin' chick flick. Summer, 1993. Boy, that was a great year. Mad Dodge is right. I haven't heard any of this crap.
Wait, are those top movies or?
Yeah.
Won't You Be My Neighbor supposed to be good?
Guilty.
MC,
Yes.
did you say that your favorite movie was Gone with the Wind?
Did I say that? No, I just threw that out there just to watch these guys react. When they say the top, what's the most recent movie you remember seeing?
Well, I just find that amusing because I have a puzzle that has never been opened that is Gone with the Wind.
Oh, you're doing a giveaway.
No, I am not. I love Gone with the Wind.
Would you say it's in mint
leaning
condition?
into the wind?
What?
It doesn't. These are the movies. Cake
No, you don't pee into the wind. That's bad.
It does not pee into the wind. Lean into the wind. Science fair.
I almost made that mistake myself. I offended MD.
Free
Did I
solo.
make Dodge leave?
Yes.
Can you ever forgive me? The Tale. Tea with the Dames. McQueen. You gotta go clear to 23 before I
feel like we should read articles from GQ or whatever I was reading one day on Mansplaining.
23 is the Black Panther. That's finally a movie that I've seen.
Afro-American Panther, thank you. Let's not be racist.
Mission Impossible Fallout is 24. A movie I won't see.
Wait, they made a Fallout of that?
Mission Impossible Fallout 2018. A fast, sleek, and fun Mission Impossible Fallout lives up to the impossible part of its name by setting yet another high mark for insane set pieces in the franchise full of them.
Dodge, you're multiplying.
Starring Tom Cruise, Harry Cavill, Ving Rhames, and Simon Pegg. Directed by Christopher McQuarrie.
MC, do you do the voiceover of IMDb?
I don't know what IMDb is, but
the International Movie Database, where they list like the movie, the little
Here.
plot thing.
29 is got to be a freaking page turner here. I am not a witch.
I didn't think you were.
And number 32, The Death of Stalin.
That's a movie I did hear about. I did hear that one. I didn't watch it. But what about that Churchill movie that came out last year? I saw that. Is that on the list?
The Darkest Hour? I haven't seen it yet.
That was a pretty good movie. I liked it.
Incredibles 2 is number 48.
Oh, I thought that was a good movie.
My kids saw that. I had not.
I prefer the first one.
54 is RBG.
I don't know what the hell that is.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Oh.
But the name is RGB.
What? What?
What?
Are you sure that's not about like the quarterback?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Why did they get the letters wrong?
RBG?
Oh, I thought you said RGB. A difference.
And you call me a geek.
What?
Red, blue, green?
Yeah. What about it? You can do yellow too. They have those. God, we're losing everyone. MD and Jensen, save us.
There is nothing that can save you except your fate.
Phantom Thread, number 79. Number 80, Crazy Rich Asians. I have seen actual trailers for that. So that's one that I've seen, at least seen trailers of them talking about it. 82, Teen Titans Go, the movies.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet. Don't spoil it.
Oh, jeez. Widows, number 87. I have no idea what the hell that is. How? Number 92.
Oh,
Although Hal Ashby directed a remarkable string of acclaimed, widely admired classics through the 1970s, Harold and Maude, The Last Detail. I guess it's about a Hollywood, where they're Hollywood commenting on Hollywood. Wonderful. You Were Never Really Here, number 96. Studio 54, number 99. And 100 is Scotty and the Secret History of Hollywood.
Thank you, Regis.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that, I don't know, movies suck nowadays. I mean, none of those movies on that list looked any good. And the one movie I did see in 2018 wasn't even on the list.
Wait, where was The Avengers?
That wasn't on the list.
What? How?
That was not on the list, at least not in the top 100.
That is at the bottom 100?
No. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I know, right?
I didn't look for it. I didn't go on there and go, gee, let me try to figure out where the Avengers is.
Wait, what was the top movie again?
What's the top movie? Is Paddington.
Doesn't necessarily surprise me.
Or Paddington 2, I'm sorry.
Oh. Yeah, that actually did look like a good movie. Okay, fair enough.
Did you go to it? Did you see it? Avengers Infinity War is 138.
I like explosions.
It got beat out by Gospel, according to Andre. Morovia, Indiana.
Who voted on this?
Sisters Brothers.
What did the EU vote on these movies? I feel like the EU voted on these movies.
Der Hauptmann, the captain. Cargo. These are all the movies.
MC,
Let the sunshine in.
You're making me want to jump off a dock again.
The Miseducation of Cameron Post. Colette. Upgrade. All About Nina. Grace Jones. Bloodlight and Bammy. I don't know. Bloodlight and Bammy? Bammy? B-A-M-I? What's that?
Oh, body mass index.
Oh, is that what it is?
What? No, BMI? Yeah, that's what BMI is.
Grace Jones, Bloodlight and Bammy takes an unconventional approach on rock biopic, resulting in a compelling experience for fans and intriguing, albeit confusing primer for the movies. I would say that this thing is just, what the hell?
Can we just all agree that the Dragon Ball Super movie, Broly, is the best movie of 2018?
And above Infinity Wars is Mary and the Witch's Flower. That's at 122.
That sounds like it could actually be either a young lady film or a potential pornographic film, and I'm unsure
anime.
which. Oh, wait, what was it called again? I should watch it.
Mary and the Witch's Flower. The Kindergarten Teacher. These are all movies that beat out Infinity War, folks.
Wow.
Ay caramba! ICIAMBRA.
Oh, this looks like a role-playing game. Oh, it looked kind of cool. Let's see what it's about.
Love Gilda. A freaking love of Gilda Radner. What they had. The Insult. God. You know what's rad about this is even the names of these movies are so pedestrian. There's nothing about them, you know?
Agreed. They don't have that thing that just hooks you and goes, oh, that sounds interesting.
I mean, I'm going to look at some of these other ones. Mary Poppins Returns. But that didn't beat out Infinity War. That's much down the list. 22nd of July.
All right, guys. Unfortunately, that's the second time in 10 minutes that my internet is cut out and I came back. I think we're gonna have to call it today. Hopefully, I did get a notice that they're working on the lines for CenturyLink up here, so maybe that's what's going on. But yeah, it's going in and out on me, guys.
Okay, mate.
Oh, this is just like an anime of like Harry Potter, except it's basically a gal that picks a magic flower.
But no, thank you, everybody.
Harry Potter picks a flower.
Yeah.
Hey, don't hate on
Sorry, it's
flower.
a short one. Sorry, it's a short one today, guys. Hopefully, CenturyLink is fixing the goddamn lines. We'll be back tomorrow, hopefully, with a debate for you. Good night, good luck, and don't go to France without your yellow vest.
Pick the
Peace.
witch's flower.
Why are